Hello Smart Movers and welcome to Smart Move Insider, a place where we talk about fitness from within. My name is Sergio alongside head coach Part, and today we're going to talk about how to prepare for the winter season. Expect to find out how we can enjoy the holidays and stay on track, how to set realistic goals for the winter, how to adapt your workouts when the cold comes, what to do if we fall off the wagon, how to make sure you start a new year stronger than ever, and a few more hot topics. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Why do people often lose motivation during the winter months? What do you think?
Days are getting shorter. It's cold outside, not a lot of light. It affects their mood. The winter months. So December is around the corner. Multiple holiday parties planned. Probably some of those include getting out of town and visit family. So it's very easy to give yourself a reason to take it easy. So we all have that voice in our head, and I call it my bitch voice, that tells us to get comfortable. It's that voice that tells you after in a workout of 5 rounds that 4 rounds was enough. You worked hard today, you should chill a bit. So now it's December, it's cold outside, it's nice and cozy at the fireplace, and that inner voice is going to tell you that like it's okay. You can take some time off. You can enjoy this month. You deserve a break. But the question is, does that break need to be a month? That is like a very debatable thing. I'm the first one to say that for sure every 6 months you should just take a full week off and don't do anything physical. Don't lift any weights, don't do anything. Let your body and mind recover a bit. But too often you see people in August and in December taking a full month off, and I think it's a bit exaggerated to do that. And why are you getting demotivated between brackets and get motivated to take a full month break? Is because you talk yourself into it. You deserve it, but you need to think a little bit that all the work you have done, the longer breaks you take, the more you're gonna feel the effects of it.
How I see it is that all your work is going down the drain if you don't take care of a bit of the last part of your, let's say, season. Yeah. It's very hard to fall off and get comfortable.
It's very easy to find reasons to take that full month off. On that day I'm driving to Timișoara to visit family. A couple of days later I have the New Year's party with my company, but there are still things that we can do to maintain our fitness a bit, because if I'm gonna start taking too long off, let's say I do the full month, it's gonna be harder to return to your regular schedule. Like just talk to any guy that you consider like a very fit guy in the gym. I guarantee all of them will say that restarting after every break, it's hard. Restarting after a week of holiday or after 2 weeks of holiday, it's hard. So the longer you prolong that period, the harder it gets. It's not only physical, it's also mental, because you probably also have after each break you take, the first training you have to like force yourself a bit. It's not like you're in the mood that much. Most people are not that in the mood after they just have their feet up into the sun or on a winter break to go back to lift weights. No matter that they know the benefits and they know they're going to feel better when they do it, they still don't feel like, right?
Exactly. And I remember that when I restart, I'm always trying to tell myself, it's going to suck, but just bear with it. It's going to get better and better, and you're going to go in the same rhythm in no time. Yeah. But that's the case if your break is like, let's say, a week or 2 max.
Yeah, then it's not that bad, because
if you
the longer
for a month, it's very bad like for your mind to get again adapted to such an effort.
Yeah, I would, and you just need to anticipate. Just know that every time you'll take a break, mentally you're gonna have to battle that voice in your head that wants to postpone. I'm not gonna go today. Maybe from Thursday I'm gonna restart, or maybe from next Monday I'm gonna restart. You need to fight that battle with that voice in your head, because he's making the return bigger than it is. You're thinking in your head, before the holiday, that workout, it really hurt and it really destroyed me, and you're afraid somehow to go back to that pain, but you just need to restart. You don't need to be first on the leaderboard. You just need to get going again, get back in the routine. That's the main thing I think people need to do, get in the routine. But to get back to the subject of motivation, I think there is a bit of a misconception, in my opinion, about what is motivation. People think that something or someone needs to come knocking on their door for them to be motivated, for them to take action and do something. I think you need to switch that mindset a bit, and you need to take action to get motivated, and that motivation will lead to more motivation. So you need to battle that mental blockage, and you just need to do. Doesn't need to be perfect in the first trainings. You just need to do something, and the ball will start rolling. The snowball will roll, and it will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and motivation will build. You don't need to wait for motivation. You need to take action and do something that is manageable. Maybe taking that action will not be gym training. Maybe taking an action will be, I don't know, I'm gonna go for a bicycle ride, or I'm gonna go for a hike with a backpack, and I'm doing something physical without it feeling like I'm trying to break a record, or I'm in a real training, but I'm doing something physical. So maybe that's the first thing to do. Do something physical, anything physical.
Okay.
I think the main thing is that we need to realize that staying fit, maintaining fitness is easier than rebuilding fitness. So fitness is all about keeping momentum going, and yeah, you can take a full week of training without problem, and like I said, every 6 months I would do so, but I wouldn't go 2, 3, 4 weeks or longer, because then if you don't actually do something in your time away from the gym, your fitness will start to decline. So I think after, let's say, a week and a half, 2 weeks, you're going to feel your cardio starting to go down. But if you're going to take a month off from the gym, I think you can expect at least a 10% drop in your strength. And if it becomes 2 months, your strength levels really going to feel a big difference if you didn't lift in 2 months. So I think it's all about keeping momentum going. Fitness is about consistency. So if I'm not in the gym, there are still things I can do. So because I've seen you also train when you're like visiting your parents in the December month. What did you do, for example, last year? Because I've seen you do something.
I'm usually joining the neighborhood gym, or I go for, if it's very cold, long walks. But I'm not doing anything physical in the snow, for example. I'm not that tough. So what would you say is the first reason people stop training in the winter months? What do you think they stop?
I think probably because they have in their mind that if I cannot stick to my schedule, maybe my schedule is 3 times a week gym or 4 times a week gym, I better not do anything at all.
So that would be unrealistic goals, let's say.
Yeah, like unrealistic expectations, knowing that you're in a busy period and that your goal is not progress in this period, because it's just a very short period. Maybe it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe it's a month. In this period, I'm just gonna try to maintain as good as I can, and I'm gonna try to work with the tools that I have. That might mean that instead of training 4 times a week in the gym, maybe you'll reach 2 gym sessions. You'll be then out of town at your parents', and maybe you'll do a Tabata in the living room of 8 rounds of 20 seconds on, as much reps as you can, 10 seconds off. First you go through air squats for those 8 rounds, then you do push-ups, then you do sit-ups, then you finish with burpees. Interchangeable, you can do any bodyweight exercise. Maybe you'll include something that you have lying around, like a piece of wood, and you start doing weighted odd object squats. Like, you set your mind to like, yeah, I won't be in the gym 4 times like usual, but I can still do something. And when I'm around, I can go to the gym, get my regular routine going. But it's not because a couple of times in that month you're a couple of days gone that means you need to do 0. You can do something, and maybe that something will only be 20 minutes, but it's 20 minutes of fitness maintenance in comparison to full rest and slowly letting the fitness go down. You can maintain.
I know. I would add to that people lose themselves in the end of the year because they are tired and they feel like they deserve a good break. I've been all the year, 12, 11 months, I've been on point. I had just a week when I went on holiday in summer. I think I deserve a full month. But when that happens, I think you throw out the window almost all your progress, because the hardest part is getting back on track. So I think it's a short period that you really need to fight with yourself, and that's the December month. Because in January, we're all heroes. We all come back stronger than ever, chubbier than ever, eating all the cookies and stuff. So what I think is that we need to do is just pass that sentiment of I need to go as strong as I did before, and just set yourself a 3 per week workout. And if you are gone, as you said, 2 weeks in, I don't know what part of the country, and don't have a gym, you don't have nothing, you still can find something to train with, or even body weight. And I know you prepare some body weight workouts just for that purpose, of people having something to do in their homes, in their cabanas, wherever they are.
Yeah, usually on the days that the gym is closed, I post something. So for those motivated, you can do something. I like to look at those periods of, like, I don't know how to explain it, like you have a bottom limit and you have a top limit. My top limit would be, I will find a gym, I will have all the material available, and I have a lot of options to train, like I'm in a neighborhood gym. This is my top level. That would be like perfect scenario. My bottom level is, I'm going to do something bodyweight. But what I don't have is, this is the minimum I can do. So both of them is a training. One I would prefer more than the other, but I'm going to work with what I have. So it's, don't say so easily like I'd rather do nothing. Now that bitch voice in your head is talking again and is searching comfort where you could do something. And even those couple of times, even it was just in 2 weeks you only trained 4 times and it was just the body weight stuff, those 4 trainings will still be better, make you feel better when you return on the 1st of January to restart than 2 weeks of full silence and no training at all. So don't knock down the easier or less volume trainings. It doesn't need to be perfect, just to help you to get an easier start when you go back to your normal volume. I would stay to some point active 2 or 3 times a week and do something. Maybe a bodyweight workout, maybe I reach the gym once, like if I'm fully out of town, maybe I'll go for a long walk once. Just something active, because I know it will make my life easier when I'm back. And you have nobody to compete with. It's just for the sake of movement. It's for the sake of maintenance. It's not to push any limits. It's just to get some movement in.
So basically you're saying that you need to have a certain lower tone in that month, and it's okay with it.
Yeah.
You just need to make your mind wrap this up and accept it.
Yeah.
Because if you're still on the go side, if you do less, you're gonna say, this is shit.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. I'm not training, and it's gonna be like a race to the bottom.
But if you say it's not enough, what's the alternative? Completely do nothing. How is that better?
Yeah, we like extremes, People like extremes, So we were talking about realistic goals. So how do we set some realistic goals for the winter? Not putting any pressure on us, just accepting that the day is shorter, the air is colder, everything goes to a stop because it's the new year. You go on the cookie spree, you go on a shopping spree, and all of that the holiday brings. So how would you set yourself up for the winter with your goals? What you would try to achieve?
I would accept that this is the month of maintenance. This is the month where I will do what I can. Maybe think a bit ahead in the calendar, where I'm gonna be at what moment, and then think a little bit what's gonna be possible in that month. If you're out of town visiting family, maybe it's a bit of thinking like, what are we doing that day? Maybe it's going to be a good idea to get into the neighborhood gym early when you get out of bed, get it done with, because once you're into the atmosphere and the tsuika and the wine, it's not going to happen anymore. So that's why a lot of people like working out in the morning. Maybe you're not one of them, but maybe in December you can be once in a while and say, okay, just get it done. I checked it, I did it for my health, I did it for maintenance, I'm happy I did it. Now I come out of the gym with a better mood. So I would look a little bit and think a bit ahead, what can I do when, seeing the circumstances, and especially accept it. Like it's not my regular month, but it's okay. I don't need to go completely deconditioned in this month. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good for my mental as well.
Exactly. I would say that for myself, I would just set a very low standard and I would just focus on having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just continue my routine because it's very important not to fall off my routine because I like it and I got used to it 11 months. So keeping to it is going to do me a big favor. So I would just come to the gym, enjoy the workout, not trying to overachieve what I'm doing, and just have fun because everybody's going to be in the same mood. And whoever is in the gym is the same as me because they made the extra step to be present in that day over there. So that's a big stuff.
But I think that's an important one. Do something that is fun, that keeps you active, and it's just about fun. It's not about performance. While the other months in the gym, maybe you're more focused on performance and getting your deadlift up or getting faster in the mat. Now it's just, you should be happy that you're doing something.
Exactly. It's like the temper phase of a workout. You need a bit of deload, you need a bit of decompression. So just use that for your mental, for your joints, and just have fun and allow yourself to have fun, because this is the worst part, I think, is that you know what you should do but you don't do it, so you should take it easy but you don't. You say you're not going to compete but you compete, so stick to it. If you said you're just going to come in 3 times a week and just have fun, and in the rest you take care of the family and you're going to prepare for the holidays, do it, but just be full in.
Maybe that will be the moment when I walk into a commercial gym that I will just do something bodybuilding style for a change, something completely different than I usually do, just for the fun of it. So yeah, have fun, find something that makes you move. Maybe that's a 3-hour walk in the forest, whatever works, whatever gets you going.
Yeah, and the biggest issue here is the nutrition. The nutrition and the progress. So in order not to lose your progress, what should you do? And in order not to be like a complete asshole and eat like an asshole, what should you do? What small lines can you give for our audience just to be aware of and keep in mind?
Yeah, during the holiday season we will have dinner with friends, family, maybe it's at home, maybe it's in a restaurant, go to parties, have some drinks. And I believe it's okay. You don't need to be the weirdo that says I'm only going to eat carrots and chicken, and I'm not going to drink alcohol, and I'm not going to eat desserts. But I think you should indulge to a certain point. Have some drinks, have some dessert, but like always, the key is moderation. If you just like not working out for a full month are gonna have on your fitness big impact. If you're gonna go a full month full in on the food, you're gonna come back to the gym, and in a month you're gonna have gained weight that took you 6 months to lose. So you need to see a little bit, is it worth it? You can still enjoy your food without stuffing yourself. So you can still have the dessert, but you don't need to have 3 desserts.
So you're saying find a balance.
Find balance, yeah. Like you should do during the year as well. Maybe here you'll go a little bit further, but it doesn't mean that it's cheat month. Like, see a little bit, is it worth gaining 5 kilos in a month just because you think you deserved it? You worked for that for many, many, many months to be at that level. So don't throw it in the garbage just for a short time pleasure. There are a couple of things that you could do to help yourself along a little bit. One would be make sure you're hydrated. Oftentimes people think that they have pofte, you're just thirsty. So make sure drink plenty of fluids. it's gonna help with the hunger feeling or the pofte feeling, and it might help with your with the portion sizes that you choose. If you make sure that you're constantly hydrated, at least hydrated doesn't mean on wine, guys. I'm talking about water and stuff. So not on caloric drinks.
Alcohol does the opposite.
Yeah, it dries you out.
Dehydrates.
Yeah. Avoid skipping meals. So sometimes I hear people say, I didn't eat all day to be ready for the dinner. Don't do that, because you're probably gonna overeat. So have your breakfast, or another thing you could do is maybe have a snack an hour or 2 hours before you go to your family dinner. The chance that you're gonna overeat will be less than that you come there with a very big hunger feeling. It's like they say, don't go to the supermarket feeling hungry. Don't go to the Christmas dinner feeling very hungry. You're gonna exaggerate. So protect yourself.
This feels like a joke, but it's real.
Yeah.
I know multiple people that do this. They don't eat all day because they know they have that event in the evening. It's going to be buffet, or it's going to be family dinner, and you have all the plenty food, and you say, I'm going to hold myself to eat as much as I want. But that is not very good, because it's going to be a shock to your body.
It's not good for your stomach yet.
Exactly.
To exaggerate like that, afterwards you're gonna feel bad.
And I think
bloated,
a snack
sick maybe.
is perfect, and if you can have a healthy snack, it's even better.
Yeah.
Just have like few legumes and eat them before.
Yeah, another thing that maybe as a tip could be aware of eating too much starchy carbs. So on the starchy carbs, I'm talking about bread, rice, potatoes, pasta. We all love to eat them, and it's the type of food that doesn't seem to make you full, so you keep on adding on. So be aware not to overeat on them. If you overeat on these type of foods, they tend to break down in sugar and get stored as fat. So eat them in moderation instead of filling up half of your plate with them. So just to be conscious of it, like, okay, you had already 2 slices of bread. You don't need to eat 6 slices of bread with your meal. Just be aware of it a bit, that it's maybe a quarter of your plate, not half of your plate full of pasta or rice. Like, it's just to find balance a little bit. Doesn't mean don't eat them, but don't exaggerate. Everything is always about don't exaggerate. Nothing is bad if you don't exaggerate. And then once the party is over, this is the important part, because like I said before, you don't want this to turn into everything goes month. Yeah, you have a party planned this week, you go to it, you're a little bit conscious of what you do there. Don't try to exaggerate. You do eat dessert, but you don't need 5 desserts. You watch out a bit how you arrive there, not with a big hunger feeling. But once the party is over, the goal should be to go back to your regular routine. What do you do the rest of the year? So between parties, you go back to what you usually do. If that means I'm fasting in the morning, whatever it is, but find your balance that you use throughout the year. So in between parties, we go back to balance. Don't get caught up in the idea that yesterday I ate, between brackets, bad, so fuck it, I already fucked it up, so I'm gonna go all week. Don't go in that idea. It's not what you do once in a while that's gonna show you the negative effects. It's what you do on a regular basis. So you going all week long is not necessary. You can go a little bit off the wagon, as they call it, on that party, but then jump back on the day after. We're back to normal. We're back to eating eggs and vegetables in the morning. We're back to eating, make sure that we have enough protein, vegetables, fruits on the other meals. It's not French fries and hamburgers and pizzas just because it's December month. No, go back to your normal food. And then you shouldn't feel bad when you're at the party and you're doing stuff that you know that if I would do this every day, within a couple of months I will be 10 kilos heavier.
Okay, so don't be the weirdo on the party.
No.
Don't be the awkward one in the family and only this, that and that. Participate in everything, but with moderation, and then very fast get back on track. If you go 2 days or 3 days with carols and you have family dinners, get very fast back on in the rest of the day. Don't starve yourself till the next one and then have drinks and sweets and stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay, so from a programmer point of view, do you do anything different in that month of December? from the top of your head?
You mean for the gym workouts?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. We have like the typical things that come back, like the fun workouts, like 12 days of Christmas, like certain workouts. But a program just for, because not everybody is constantly gone. There are also people that are just almost at the regular routine, so we just programming goes on as it is. But the only thing I might change a bit is that for the holiday month, some more fun warm-ups or a couple of fun team workouts, and maybe that month will not necessarily have a certain team, but just to put some fun workouts there. Maybe we'll throw in a bodybuilding style workout one day, so I might be a bit more flexible of what to program, but it's more about having fun, because the weeks are not exactly, I have 6 days every week, because we have all these holidays in between, so it's a bit broken anyway. So I just fill up, if we're only open 4 days a week or 3 days that week, I fill them up with some things that I think is just fun to get people to the gym, just because there's something fun on the menu, not necessarily to do 5 sets of 5 back squat.
How would you describe the 12 days of Christmas so the audience can understand why is this special and what kind of workout is this?
The 12 days of Christmas is based on a song, and if you listen to the song, maybe it will make sense, because they're always going backwards, repeating the same sentences, and at the end a new sentence adds. And in that same principle, we have 12 exercises, and the rep range goes from 12 reps all the way down till 1 rep. As far as I remember, it's like a 500 rep style workout. You will start with 1 rep on exercise 1, 2 reps on exercise 2, and all the way down to 12 reps on exercise 12. And we start with exercise 1 rep, then we do exercise 2, 2 reps, then we go back to exercise 1 rep, then we go to 3, 2, 1, then we go to exercise 4, 3, 2, 1. So every round you add an exercise, and then you work your way back to the first exercise that only has 1 rep. And it's a fun workout because it has so much variation, because you have 12 exercises, and it's also fun because every time you get caught into the idea that, man, I'm gonna put a top time here, because the first part of the workout goes really fast, like in 10 minutes you're maybe at rep 7, but we're not even close to halfway the workout, and then the hard part still needs to start. And it's a workout, that's gonna probably last like 40 minutes or something, or 45. So it's a bit of also of a mental push, because at a certain point you don't think you're gonna finish anymore, because you need to go from 11 all the way down till 1, and then you still need to go from 12 all the way down till 1. So eventually it feels a little, you start getting drained, and it becomes a mental challenge. Although in the beginning you're like very motivated and going very fast, maybe faster than you should, because it's deceiving.
Yeah, the workout looks really nice. It looks like a tree.
Yeah.
So it's going from top to bottom, and I always mess up in some way or another the order.
Oh yeah, easy.
It's very easy to mess up under intensity, and you just get to another. In order to finish fast, you skip something without you noticing.
Yeah, if you skip 1 round, all of a sudden, you seem to be a bit fast. All of a sudden,
I'm a bit ahead. What happened?
You've skipped the round of 8 or something.
Yeah, but I remember this workout is a really nice one, and I'm always looking up to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for myself that training keeps me grounded and makes me have a good mental health. So how does the winter affect our mental health? How can you stay active? Help?
Yeah, well, there is this, how do I call it, disorder where the winter months affect people's mood. I think I read online that like 5% of people get affected really bad, but most people can say that they feel some difference just because of the months they're in, the winter months, that motivation just in general, that they're a little bit down, not to call it depressed, but their mood in general, their feeling is a little bit down more than usual. So there is actually a term for it. It's called seasonal affective disorder, and that is when in general your mood goes down in the winter months, without calling it a depression, but just a general mood change, and many people feel that in the winter. So the change of mood is mainly linked to a hormone called serotonin, and this is maybe you've heard about this before, but this hormone is what boosts your mood once the sun comes up and when there is light, and it's also the same hormone that helps you fall asleep when it gets dark. So when serotonin is on the low side, it can influence your mood, and it may, as a side effect, it may lead to eating more carbs because carbs, most of us, we feel happy when we eat carbs. So to fight that low mood because of low serotonin, because of the circumstances in winter, we eat more carbs, and because we eat more carbs, all of a sudden we get fatter. I'm bulking in winter, like it's a ripple effect of mood. I'm like emotional eating because my mood is down. So another thing that can influence that mood is because it's low light, and you might have a deficiency in vitamin D because it's not so much light, so that can also influence like the serotonin level. Also your vitamin D levels can influence your mood because of it's less sunlight in those winter months. So during the winter months you should try, so to help a little bit, you should try to take advantage of the hours that it is light and get outside, not spend your entire day inside. For sure the sun is not strong enough to really boost my vitamin D levels just like it has in summer, but it for sure will help a little bit with the mood. Maybe it's not gonna fix everything, but you should still try to get yourself outside in the daylight, even during the winter months, for a walk or to do something outside. And then, like you said, training is another one. You don't feel like doing too much because you're in all these hormones are influencing your mood a bit. But when we train, we will release endorphins in our brain, the happy hormone. So all of us that train, we know that, for example, after an intense metcon, I can see it in the room. All of a sudden, everybody is like talking to each other, very excited. Is that endorphin is running in your brain? So take advantage of that. You're in a general lower mood, but if you force yourself to do some activity, you will feel better, guaranteed. Your mood will be better after. So take advantage, get some daylight / winter sunlight, get in a training, and it will definitely help lift your mood a little bit.
Yeah, this makes me think of the people that lives up north, the Norway people that have very short daylight.
Like with periods in the year where it's just dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
they struggle.
They have really bad moods, and depression is at high levels. Yeah, definitely going outside and just walking helps you a lot. But this makes me think of people that have work from home and they work from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6.
All the way until it's dark.
And it's dark. At 5 already it's dark. So maybe have yourself implement in your routine. When you break for lunch, you should go for a walk also.
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be better to not work till 5 but work till 6, so you can guarantee that you can get outside in the middle of the day when it's still light. So yeah, definitely it's not gonna be beneficial for your mood to stay in, wake up, it's dark, and then work until it's dark again. So just to be aware of that, I would get myself outside a bit in the middle of the day and plan my work a bit accordingly. It will be good from a mental point of view, and maybe also good for the people around you, that you're not in a down mood all the day.
Not moody.
Yeah.
So definitely we need to pay attention on what we put in our routine so that we still feel good after all at the end of the day.
Yeah, do the things that can just enhance your motivation or your willingness to take action and do something. So just be aware of that. Sunlight, vitamin D levels, and try to do something active. It will just improve your general feeling in those a bit more depressing winter months.
Okay, so earlier we talked about some tips of how to stay active during your travels. Do you think you have anything more to add on that, or we can move on?
No, I think it kind of applies wherever, to start slow, like you said, to give your body a bit time to adapt. It's more important to do something than try to do it perfect, or try to have the perfect training. So whatever that may be, find something that you think is fun during holiday, coming back after holiday to restart. Just start with something that is fun and try to get back into the, how should I say it, during the year it's like you're in a routine where it's only normal to move, so now we need to kickstart that again, the feeling of it's normal to move. So start off easy and then slowly build it up until you're back mentally ready. Maybe it took you a couple of runs and a couple of hikes and a bicycle ride before you did your first gym training, but it's okay.
And on the accountability side, do you think there's more to it than just sticking to your schedule? Maybe involve your partner in life or your family and just talk to them before. Look, I don't want to get on the feast of just eating everything and in different time areas. Do you think there's more to it?
No, for sure. That would be a good idea to, for sure, at least your partner to be aware of what you plan on doing and why, because you're gonna need a little bit. It's gonna make things easier if you have some support there. Also, that maybe the partner will be watching the kids while you can get away for an hour to move a bit. The partner is not gonna constantly come bring you plates with cake. If you talked in advance about it, like, okay, I will eat cake, but I'm trying to like find some balance. So yeah, communication for sure is key, and I know especially on grandmas are very good at it. You look like you lost weight. Eat, eat, eat. So don't let the people around you pressure you into things that you don't want. And it's easier if you don't stand out. Like we said, you don't want to be the one that refuses everything, but if you kind of blend in, you probably won't get to that point. But if you are the one that says, I'm going to only eat salad and I don't want potatoes, probably going to have the pushy family members of, come on, enjoy life a bit, here, take some more potatoes, here, take some more bread. So find a bit of balance, and probably the people around you will leave you alone with that.
Yeah, exactly. I think the partner support is the best support. So I'm not referring as like for the parents. I'm just referring on the other half. When you go somewhere or at a party, he can back you up or she can back you up.
Yeah.
Get you out of the uncomfortable situation and talks of people asking you this and that, because I bet everybody was in that scenario where you were the fittest person in that entire group, and they were all looking at you crazy when you were eating a cake.
Oh, you eat that?
Yeah, do you eat such a thing? No, I'm just breathing.
Because people always think that people that look fit, the only way that they got there must be by doing extreme things. No, we can get there with being balanced, because the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time you stick to the things you know you should do training wise and eating wise, and then we have the 20% of the time where we can do the things that we do because we like to do them, that we do the things that we do because we like to eat them. We eat the cakes and we eat this, so there is no extremes. But the people around you are still stuck in that mindset, so they can make you maybe feel a little bit bad because they're watching you and they're like, I didn't know you eat that, or the opposite, like they take a cake and say, you don't want this, right? Because you don't eat. Like, yeah, I do eat.
They already assume you're a saint.
Yeah, no. Because if you're too strict on yourself, it's never a long-term thing. So that's why also at the holidays we do need to do these things for our mental. You cannot be too strict on yourself. It never lasts.
Be human and get the stick off your ass.
Yeah.
And blend in.
Don't be so extreme. Extremes don't last.
And I think another thing that keeps you accountable is your daily apps that you are using. If you are using an app to meditate, or if you are using an app to keep track of your sleep or your in any other metrics, just look at it and see what it says. Don't ignore it. That's what I'm referring to. So keep track of them and see, okay, I slept very late. I'm gonna try and maybe have a nap.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you don't, because in the holidays and then parties and then party all night. Try to compensate a little bit your sleep, and because that's also not good for your general physical, how you feel generally physically. And maybe if you're also another accountability thing, if you're lucky, your partner also like working out, and you can motivate each other to do something together that maybe only lasts 15 or 20 minutes. But when one isn't in the mood, your partner maybe can convince you to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because once you start it, you're gonna be fine.
10 minutes of workout, 10 minutes of burpees,
Yeah.
10 minutes of anything.
Exactly. Put the bar low and say it's only 10 minutes.
Let's just do this.
We don't need to do
200
2 hours.
jumping jacks.
Yeah, we do something. Anything is better than nothing. So don't think
And then all of a
it
sudden
needs to be perfect.
you sweat, you're happy, you're in a good mood, and you're active.
Yeah.
With very, very little effort.
It's all about frequency. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to move.
So you don't need a barbell, you don't need dumbbells,
No.
kettlebells. You just need the initiative to move.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can we get back on track when we fall off the wagon?
Falling off the wagon meaning like I planned to do all kinds of stuff during that month, but I didn't, and now I need to get back.
I said I'm gonna train 3 times. I said I'm gonna eat healthy. I didn't. So
Okay, both.
yeah, both.
Yeah.
And now I'm very pissed off myself. I'm talking to myself like to an asshole because I fucked it up.
Like now the negative self-talk starts. I think maybe where it went wrong, maybe it can start with a bit of self-assessment. I planned to do this and this and this, and none of it happened. Why? Maybe it already started with maybe I set my expectations too hard, and that's why I fell off the wagon. So maybe it will be interesting to do a little bit of a self-assessment. So when we get into the next holiday period, maybe I can adjust it a bit. Perhaps instead of setting a high goal of yourself and say I need to do 3 times a week, maybe next time you just say I need to do 2 times a week. Let's first be sure to pick a goal for that period that is really manageable, like easy manageable. Maybe 3 times is like I can do it, but not necessarily I would call it easy manageable. If you say to yourself, is it easy manageable to do 2 times something active? That could be one time 10 minutes and the other time I went for a run. Is that doable, yes or no? If the question is yes, maybe you should start with that the next time, and maybe you won't fall off the wagon during. So set the bar a bit lower. You can always do more that week, but set it low so it's manageable and you can be proud that you ticked it off. So I would start with that. But then, okay, it didn't happen. Then it's again okay, like what we advise any client that had a prolonged break, start slow. The goal now is to get back in routine and just show up to the gym. Don't make the workouts bigger than it is. I'm completely out of shape now, it's gonna hurt so much. We say this sentence many times, CrossFit is as hard as you make it. The goal is not to compete when you're coming back. The goal is to move and to be happy that you're back, to see the friends again and feel again that feeling of I'm in my second home. It's fun to be here. Workouts is supposed to be fun. You don't need to kill yourself, and especially not after you just did fuck all for an entire month. When you're back, you should be giving yourself a pat on the back that you showed up and that you did what you could, and you should step out of the room with the feeling I could have done a bit more, because probably after a month of not doing anything there is a big chance you're going to have big muscle pain, so you need to take it easy. And maybe depending on how your fitness level was before the break, it can take up to 2 weeks before you're back to how you felt before. And in those 2 weeks of build-up, you maybe will do a little bit less volume, you'll go a bit slower. If before you did workouts with the deadlifts on 60 kilos, maybe for these 2 weeks you will start with 40 kilos, see a bit how your body reacts, but take it easy and let your body adapt again to the routine of moving on a regular basis. So main thing is show up. It's gonna be hard the first trainings from a mental point of view. Show up, get into the routine, be okay with that. I'm here just to move, I'm not here to push myself, and that's gonna make the transition into a month of nothing to restart is gonna make it easier by lowering the expectations on yourself. Because I think people have Sometimes they put too much pressure on themselves. Okay, I had a month of break, so now when I'm back I need to go full in, and then they destroy themselves and they can't walk for 3 or 4 days because they went too heavy and too fast on the first trainings. So take it easy. Rome wasn't built in a day. You can go back to full speed mode after week 2. Maybe after week 1, if your fitness level is high, it might go faster. So things to speed up to go back to normal would be make sure you're back into your food plan, like your 80-20. Make sure you are back into your sleep routine. These will all be things that will just speed up you going back to the normal fitness level you had before the break.
Yeah, so in short, start slow and aim lower.
Yeah, aim low. You don't have anything to prove.
Yeah, that's very good. We are always saying that the community is at the base of our success. So how can the CrossFit community help you stay on track during winter?
Well, what you could do perhaps is, when I'm posting the home workouts, is be online a little bit with your friends and decide all together to do it, and or maybe each of you do it separate or all in the same time, compare scores a bit. I've even had people that did it and just put themselves on a video call while they did it together but separate, all in their own side of the country visiting family. So you can provoke each other a little bit to stay active and to motivate each other a little bit to try one of the home workouts. Maybe you come up with your own, because it's just a matter of being inventive. I put some on our Wodify, but there are plenty online as well. Or you can just make up one on the spot. So there are even game type workouts where you go on a Zoom call and you have a deck of cards and you pull a card, and depending on the card you pull, you do a certain exercise. For the hearts, it's air squats. If I pull a heart card out of the deck and it says 9, I do 9 maybe jumps air squats or normal air squats or something. There are also fun games you can do. Keep it fun. Find a way that motivates you to take action. Find something, and so you can use the people around you and make it a bit of a game.
So basically keep in touch with your friends,
Yeah.
and try to challenge yourself. Don't let yourself slack, and most important, don't let the other one slack.
Yeah.
This applies also into the gym. So let's think we are still in the first and the third week of December, when the people start falling off. This is also a place where you can keep in touch with your best friends. You know that they should be in the gym. Text them, hey, where are you? Or somehow try to use them as a leverage to get yourself back into the gym.
Yeah, help each other stay consistent. Sometimes it's as little as just asking, you're joining tonight? I don't feel like, come on. You don't need to be okay, it's 50 kilos, Alex, you can do 40, but just let's get a workout in. It's going to be fun. It's a team workout. You don't need to kill yourself. So help each other stick to your goals.
That's really good. So we're going to head to the last part that we have. How can we use the winter season to prepare for a stronger start in the new year?
Like a while ago, we started goal reviews. So most of you have, I think majority of you, 75 or 80% has had a goal review. So these talks with one of the trainers are just to see a little bit what are the things that went well and what are the things that didn't go so well in the last period. And the main reason for these talks is to pinpoint a little bit a specific goal you might have, and then to make a plan and to guide you a bit to make a plan to reach that goal. So why is it important to set goals? Is because the setting of goals keeps you engaged and keeps you looking forward to come to the gym, because you're working towards something. It's like we're starting to train with intention, in comparison to I'm here to be fit, I'm here to be healthy. if we can pinpoint a very specific goal that also is on the road to being healthy, it will give you something to work for, and it's going to be measurable, and you're going to see slowly the progress of the work. And because you see the progress, because it's measurable, it will keep you motivated to keep going because you see something is working. But if you stick to general ideas, I think they call them, outcome goals, like the end of the line thing. If that's what you're focused on, it's very it's vague. I wanna improve gymnastics. I wanna get better at CrossFit. I wanna be healthier. Yeah, okay. But what are the things on the way to that end goal that we can do to help you get there? So what gymnastic skills are we talking about? And on that gymnastic skills, what is the problem there? Is it the strength problem? Is it the technique problem? Okay, what things can we do to help you get better at it? So if we can, how do they call it? Get process goals, I think they call it. Instead of outcome goals, you always have something to look forward to. Once, let's say that towards the end goal, maybe there are 6 stations that we need to pass. Every time you're gonna tick off a station, it's gonna motivate you because now a new door unlocks. Once I can do a strict pull-up, I can start practicing the keeping pull-ups. Once I can have the keeping pull-ups down, my toaster bars are getting better. Maybe I can get my first bar muscle ups. Like getting specific goals sets you up for success down the line and sets you up for staying motivated to just keep the frequency going, keep the snowball rolling, and keep things fun, because it's fun to see progress. But if we have too much of a vague goal, you don't measure, you don't have things to measure towards that goal. That's why we always say put in your scores on metcons, put in your scores on weightlifting, so we can see if things moving along. Of course, this talk, we did this now with a coach. You could do also a bit of self-assessment, but I think for most people it's good to have this with a coach because they have a lot of experience, especially on maybe you can pinpoint your goal, but maybe do not know how to get there. And that's where the coach comes in to guide you a little bit. Maybe that's going to be with a bit of work by yourself. Maybe that's going to be all possible in classes. Maybe that's going to be needed with an hour of PT per week for a period. But important is be specific on your goals. For example, I have an example that I was thinking of. Like, let's say you could connect your goal to a benchmark workout, because we're doing a lot of benchmark workouts. I'm posting them on online on our group to give you a little bit of strategy and stuff when we do benchmarks, and to let you know, like, okay, we're going to retest something, check your last score. Like, let's say for example, my goal is I want to do this year or in the next 6 months Linda RX, and Linda is a strength workout with a ladder of 10, 9, 8 all the way till 1 of deadlifts at 1.5 times body weight is the RX, bench presses at body weight, and cleans at quarter body weight. So let's say that I have that as a goal. This is a very specific goal. I want to do Linda RX. It's very specific. To start, we pinpoint on all 3 movements, on the deadlift, the clean, and deadlift clean, and the bench press. Yeah, where are you now on with what weight can you work at the moment? Then we sit down with the coach, and then we make a little bit of a plan on how can we increase all these 3 lifts. Or maybe there is one that really sticks out, like I'm good on the deadlift and I'm good on the clean, but the bench press at body weight, no chance. We make a plan and to see what can we do in the next 3 to 6 months to get you closer to Linda RX. Most likely you will do maybe all 3 lifts, maybe just one, but let's say all 3 you do each week, 1 time clean, 1 time bench, and 1 time deadlift. And it can be as simple as, okay, let's track it, and let's see if from week to week we can progress here, or we can change rep schemes, but just get more exposure to these 3 lifts. A simple goal could be just to have, okay, in the next 12 weeks, my process goal. So what can I do to get closer to Linda RX? Okay, the simple thing could be like, I have 12 weeks, and each week I need to do all 3 one time. So I'm gonna make a chart for myself, and I'm gonna say week 1 until week 12, and every time I do a clean, I will do a check mark. So this will be my process goal. If every week I can get exposure to all 3 lifts, most likely you will get stronger on them. So this is my small steps towards the bigger goal. So the main thing what I want to bring across is, okay, I need a goal. Where do I want to end up? I need a plan towards that goal, but importantly, that those middle steps, they need to be specific and they need to be measurable to see if I'm making progress. So when you have your end goal, you do not know how to get there, talk to a coach, and he will come up with a plan that is specific and especially measurable, because otherwise we're still guessing. So I think that's about it. When I'm gonna go into the new year, don't try to have 5 goals, but try to have one specific goal. Maybe you'll focus for 3 months on that goal, and then we'll see at the end of the 3 months what the progress was. Maybe you will progress to another new goal, or maybe you will work more on that same goal. So don't try to chase too many goals at the same time. So just be specific. You can always have a new goal after every 3 months or every 6 months, where you work on something specific. So
Specific or more attainable?
yeah, it needs to be attainable. Don't set out, for example, don't say in January that in April it's the Cluj marathon, and I want to be able to run it at, 5 minutes per kilometer, while now you're running at 10 minutes per kilometer. Like, it's not gonna be realistic that in 4 months you're gonna double your speed, for example. So it needs to be something attainable. Is it achievable?
Exactly. What I think it's a good time to do is reflection. For example, when I finish a year, every time I feel like it's the 0 point, and I try to look back at my year. For example, I have everything in my calendar, and I look of everything that I did, events, holidays, and every activity that I did that year. But looking at it with the fitness lens, I would look at my Wodify history. What did I do this year? What was the worst workout? What was the best workout? If I put my question like, what is the number one move that I need to improve in order my next year to be a bit better? Because if you want to get better at CrossFit, thinking just you want to get better at CrossFit is too broad. But if you go specifically, okay, this year my biggest struggle was overhead. I fucking hate push press, push jerk, snatches, and everything I need to throw above my head. Why? I have a pain, or I don't have enough strength, or
I'm too tight.
I'm too tight. So do something about it. Like you said, very specific. Okay, I lack strength. That means that you need to do, every time you finish the workout, 2 exercises on shoulders and just move a bit of a weight above your head. If you lack mobility and you're stiff, you need to do more of stretching. If you have a chronic pain, you need to check that out. That's not good.
We need to fix the cause of that pain, or otherwise it's constantly going to come back.
Yeah. So this is what I would do. I would make a reflection part and see, assess myself. How did I feel this year? Mm-hmm. If I feel bad, if I fucking hate it, something must be underneath that you're not seeing very clearly.
Like
and if
we
you
do in the goal
continue,
review.
if you continue with it, it's gonna stay the same.
So in the goal review, that's where we talk about what are the things that didn't go so well, and maybe you're going to tell me things like that, and then we're going to try to find the why. And then of course the question is, do you want to improve on this? And then we can make a plan, very specific plan of things you can do to get close to your goal. And then in 3 months or 6 months, I'm going to check in with you and ask, okay, we said that you're gonna expose yourself, let's say mobility, you were gonna do 2 times a week, 20 minutes. Did you do it? If the question is no, then okay, why not? What can we do to make the threshold? What prohibits you of doing it. What is the big problem of not doing it? Because you said it was attainable 2 times a week. You said it's really doable. So what kept you from not doing it?
Exactly. And why do we do this? Why is this so important? It's because when you don't reach your goals, you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
You're not gonna continue. It will not make you feel good. You will only feel disappointed and don't believe in yourself. And this is a very fast way to the bottom. So that's why we're here. That's why we have coaches taking care of you, invite you to the goal reviews, so you can have the outside look on your performance. And it's a very, very objective one. I don't care necessarily, but I don't want to know why didn't you do that work that we set out to do.
You need to keep you a bit accountable, and sometimes when you're with your nose looking at yourself too close, you don't see the issue. I've had people that said to me, they have a Garmin and say, "Oh, my VO2 max dropped in the last month. Something must be wrong." And then we go and look, like, okay, let's look a little bit at your attendance in 6 months back, in those block of 3 months, and now in the last 3 months, to come to the conclusion that you have 20% less trainings than in the last block. So it's important to know and to relativate a bit certain things that you think, oh, it's a big problem going on here. So that's why these talks can be handy, because maybe you have a wrong view on a certain problem, but we need to look, why could it have happened? Why is this happening? Or I lost strength. Yeah, okay, but have you been showing up for the strength workouts? Like, have you been catching the deadlifts? Have you been catching the squats? Look a little bit, like, why could things happen? It's not always you're doing something wrong. It's just maybe you had a bit of a different focus, or maybe you couldn't reach the gym so often. Or maybe you just had also had that a wrong focus. I want to improve my strength, but the only thing you're doing is the cardio workouts. Like, okay.
Or a different part of a strength. You want to get stronger on your legs, but you're constantly doing something else than legs.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's good, and we can wrap it up for today.
Yeah.
Like always, if you have any questions, please write us on our email info@smartmovecrossfit.ro, or shoot us a message on Instagram @smartmovecrossfit. If you want to find out more about the two of us, you can find our details into the show notes. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.